Hey, it's Frank from 40 Honeybee, and I'm going to inspect my number 2 hive here. Always have a plan when you come out to do your bee inspections. The plan for this one is kind of simple. There's a feeder on top of this, and I'm going to remove that feeder because we don't need it anymore. We're into really good nectar and pollen flow here, as you can see. And the bees just need, you just have to make sure they have everything they need. And I think this box does, but we're going to check it one more time, then give them a couple weeks off just to let them work at it. So looking for a queen laying in the bottom box or the top box. There's no excluder here, so she has a free reign to build as much as she wants. We've taken a lot of resources out of this hive. That's why I want to make sure that she's still doing fine on 40 Honeybee. Hoping that this is an empty feeder with no dead bees in it. Alright. Well, it is pretty empty. There's just a few bees left. So it has done its job, and I don't see any dead bees. Just check the bottom here, but yeah, you can see it's pretty dry. Alright, good job, bees. Alright, so we're going to remove this feeder here. It's empty. And because we're in a good nectar and pollen flow here, we're just going to let the bees do their work. No more feeding for these bees unless there's an emergency. Bees are nice and calm. Look at that. They're definitely in that top box, which is nice. Again, that top box, I don't expect much. They've just had it for about a week to try to draw it out. So as long as they're up there, as long as they're starting to draw it out, that's all we want. Won't need this hard lid anymore because we don't have the feeder. So we'll remove that and take it back home. Yeah, see, they're just starting to come up into this top box, which is perfectly fine. All we want to see is in this top box is that they're starting to draw out some comb, and that they don't mind these frames. These are all brand new frames, as you can tell. Oh, and they are building comb in between the top and bottom frames too. Look at that. That's nice. Now we are looking for the queen because she could be up here, but they're really just starting to draw it out. And you draw it out from like the bottom middle, you see? Okay, let's just check out some more frames. I'll go back to working from outside in, even though I don't expect to see much. I just want to make sure, though, that I don't squish the queen here. I haven't squished a queen yet, but I have dropped at least one. When I was installing the nuke box, I pulled the frame out. She just flew right off of it. And she flew to one spot on the ground and then just kept right on trucking. You know, and I never found her, and they made another queen right away. So that hive worked out okay. Let's leave this back in there. Don't need to take it all out. Starting to see drones now. That's nice. Look at that big fella there. The reason why you like to see drones is because they take a long time to hatch out, first of all. They're not the first bees that hatch in the spring. And when the drones are hatched and flying, then you know that they can make queens, right? You know that if you have a swarm, or if you want to do splits and stuff and you have virgin queens that you want to get impregnated, those are the guys that do it right there. Without them, you got nothing. You got no bees. I like how they're coming up into this second box. You can see every frame kind of looks the same. They're coming up and building from the bottom middle up, which is perfectly fine. We're not in a big rush for this hive to make honey or anything, but we do want to split it and make more hives out of it. Built a lot of bird comb already, see that? I won't get too excited about that, although I know a lot of people do. Gotta find a better camera angle. I haven't really figured out my camera angles yet, so that you don't get too much shadow or shade, and so that I can keep the frames in frame. Figuring it out as I go. Not much on there, not much on here. Okay, let's get this box off. Easy. Sorry guys, I'm a little too rough with you there. Forgot there were bees on that frame. Okay. Still have some of that sugar left. Let's turn you over a little bit. That's probably better. Still have some of the sugar left from the winter. Just a frame for them to draw out here. They are drawing it out nicely. All I want to see in here is that there's nothing horrible or obvious that might be upsetting this queen. Another beautiful honey frame, look at that. Drawing it out. Let's turn that one around. Put it back in this way. So that they'll build the inside side a little more. These are very well behaved. Just want to push them down in the box a little bit. Just easier to work them when they're not sitting on top of the frames. Okay, there's the Apivar strip. See how it kind of fell down? Lost the toothpick on that one, but I'm going to leave it just as it is, not doing any harm. And I'm going to adjust this Apivar strip because it's blocking a whole bunch of cells. There we go. See how there's nothing going on right there? It's because this Apivar was blocking it. Okay, let's set this. It's a drone comb on this one. So this one is hatching out from the middle, and they are already backfilling it with eggs. Wow, this queen's doing a great job. Almost a little stinger there. One bee is getting a little agitated. Wow, beautiful frame of hatching out brood. So in a couple of weeks this hive is going to have a nice boost in numbers. The queen is hatching really nicely, is laying really nicely. Somebody's asking me why sometimes you see a big larva like that, a pupa I guess. See that larva there? It's because for some reason queens like to lay drone comb between the bottom and the top frame. So there would be the top box here, frame, ends with enough space for them to want to put some cells in there, and it's usually drones that they put in there. You can see the drone comb on the top, right? See those pointy, larger, round cells? Those are drones. So that's why when you tear the cells apart, when you tear the frames apart, when you separate them, you end up breaking out some of that drone comb. And that's why the pupa comes out like that. Another beautiful frame of brood in various stages here. Queen's doing a good job. This one's light. Yeah, because they're just, again, see the big clump of drone comb there? I hate to be droning on about the drones so much, but one thing that this queen, I don't like the way she does, is the way she formats her drones. Wow, can't argue about that though. Okay, so that's just about it for this inspection. What I'm going to do here is just something that you don't have to do if you're not comfortable with it, or you don't have to do if you just want to leave your bees alone. But because I don't, I'm going to take two frames of brood that I saw that had eggs and very, very young larvae in them, and move them up to the middle of the second box. And the reason why I'm going to do that is just to bring the nurse bees up into that box. And what the other bees, what the worker bees will do is they'll realize that they need to bring resources up to support those two frames, right? There's more than enough bees in this box. I'm not worried about the brood getting cold or anything like that. But if you bring a couple brood frames up, then some believe that it triggers the impulse for them to build out the frames around that brood quicker so that they can have resources closer to home. So now we're going to do that. I don't think there's any harm in that. So we'll get that done, and then this inspection is done. Okay, so there you see I brought the two frames up, and bees are already on it. So the thought is that causes them to build out these next two frames a little faster because they want the resources up there for those baby bees. Not something you have to do, just something I'm experimenting with to see how it works. I have 40 honeybees.